right, baby, we're back. Episode 2 of Leagues 4 Trailblazer Reloaded. While some people are already maxed, 500 million XP, guaranteed heart disease, the true gamer lifestyle, I represent the demographic of the casual, sometimes funny guy. I may not get points for being a father of 3, but it's a great way to trick myself into thinking I'm making good progress. Let's get some shit done and feel good about it. Just unlocked the second relic, which I ended up taking Globetrotter due to seeing more benefits with the in-series goal of getting the Bloodhound pet and being rank 1. For this video, I figured it would be easier, for me at least, just to set out the goals I want to get done, which are as follows. Number 1 is unlocking the next area. Mine will be a little bit of a curveball compared to the other areas I see a lot of people unlocking. Get ready for the wilderness, baby. Even though I know I'll be unlocking my third area soon, I plan to stay around Misthalin for a little bit just to prepare for my first grind on this account, which I'm sure will be very obvious soon enough. Number 2 is knocking out a bunch of the starter quests. Vampire Slayer, Gertrude's Cat, Romeo and Juliet. Boring as shit and really easy, but hey man, dude, it gets points, so we gotta do them. In terms of items, there are 2 really big ones I'm hoping to get. A rune axe and a chef's hat. The rune axe will make woodcutting 1,000 times faster, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a task to equip a rune item, so that's an easy win. I'll explain how I'm hoping to get that soon enough. The chef's hat I need to get to go into the Cook's Guild, which will give me a good beginner stock of food in the form of pies they sell in the shop there. As far as I know, with the current zones I have unlocked, which is just Misthalin, killing goblins is the only way to get a chef's hat, so that will also give me some good combat XP at the start. And to spoil the new area unlock, I guess, I have my other 2 goals here, which is to get 50 fire making and get a few pieces of gear that could be considered warm clothes. That's right, baby. Lava dragons in the near future. On top of just knocking out as many early tasks as I can, by the end of this video, I can slowly migrate over to my new area where I know I'll have plenty to do for the next week or so. This is the plan for now. Look at that, man, dude. Some structure, dude. Feels good. So right after getting the Globetrotter unlocked, which makes it like a million times easier to just fly around the unlocked parts of the map, I'm going to go ahead and get some of the really simple tasks out of the way. I knew as soon as I had the necklace, it was going to be a million times faster just hopping all over the place to do these simple tasks like getting a Slayer task, petting a dog, doing an agility lap. I'm under the assumption that most people are in either one of 2 camps. Blast your combat level as high as possible and as fast as possible to do in-game content, or methodically move through the task list. I personally hate having to go back and do something remedial later on, so I'm all about doing the small things as they come. Even something as small as checking your Slayer task and getting a 10-point drop it's fun to me. I feel like I know what the fuck I'm doing. Probably one of the more annoying skills I think I'll be leveling on this account is mining. Smithing, I think I'll be okay just because of the area unlocks I have planned, but mining in general, to me at least, is probably the worst skill in this game to level. It's just a fucking slog, man. But here it's not so bad because I can get some good starter armor to get some good combat XP and eventually run into the sewers and kill a moss giant. There's also some really odd one-off smithing tasks for bronze and steel armor pieces that I want to get out of the way as quickly as possible because those are free points towards the area unlock. In terms of just getting basic combat levels, I've always preferred chickens to goblins because I can use the feathers for fletching or fishing, the bones for prayer, and the meat for cooking. Which, since Leagues gives, just hacked ridiculous XP benefits, all of these are extremely helpful early on. I'm gonna whack at these guys for just a little bit because I believe sticking around here for a little while will give me enough points to finally get the third area ready to rock and roll. And there it is, the third area unlocked, 60 tasks completed. Let's dive into the next area that I will be heading over to, which is the Great Kingdom of Kourend and Kibos. Kourend and Kibos offers quite a few perks that I'm personally partial to. The biggest are definitely the Tithe Farm and Winter Tote minigames. I rely on the Winter Tote all the time to get resources for my Iron Man accounts. It's an amazing way to power level fire making so I don't need to worry about it later on, along with stockpiling so many different foods, herbs, seeds, ores, all these gathering materials. And again, considering I took Production Prodigy and not the Harvester relic earlier, I need to make up for that by selecting areas that will beef up my capability to gather resources to level later on. And the Winter Tote just makes sense to me. Plus, I need a very high fire making skill for Master Clue Scrolls, and again, Winter Tote just hacks through that requirement so freaking fast. The Tithe Farm is an extremely underrated minigame to me. It is repetitive, yes, but it's very easy and one of the only ways to level up your farming in real time. One of the worst grinds I know I'm going to have to do is Herblore, so being able to power level farming is going to be key to getting as many herbs as possible, along with grinding Slayer mobs in the catacombs. Another perk to having Zaya unlocked. Throw in the woodcutting and farming guilds, Blast Mine, Gem Stalls in Kingstown, and the boss unlocks later on. Kourend's just a good fit for me. It's something that I really enjoy having. Hunter spots all over this place are also really good, but I know I'll probably just do drift net fishing, birdhouses, and like herbivore for that grind later on, so that's not as important. But really, it's just a taste of what's to come. I've always felt like Corinne, Zaya in general, was always a little underrated because when people start the game, they're always all the way in Misthalent, and they don't really know what's available over in Zaya until much later on. As for now though, I've got some unfinished work to do in Misthalent, namely the list of shit I said I'd do, so I'll get back on that by trying to get a sardine for Gertrude's cat. To catch a sardine, I need a fishing rod and some bait. Porch rim is blocked by whatever the fuck this thing is, so I need to get some fishing bait from one of the only other sources I know at the moment, which are those outlaws right next to the Grand Exchange. They have a pretty good drop rate for fishing bait, so if I can just get 1 or 2 pieces from them, I know I should be good. Well, I get 1, so I'm hoping that is going to be enough. Now the fishing rod. Considering I can't go to Porch Rim and play everyone's favorite minigame in the rat pit, luckily I know there's a static spawn for one on the Isle of Souls. Why? I have absolutely no idea, but it is there. Yoinked. Sardine has been secured. Let's fly through Gertrude's cat so we can cross that one off the list. And with that, Gertrude's cat is done, which will give us a pretty useful reward here actually. So Big Gertie here is so kind enough to slap some stew together for me as well, and there's a task to feed a Draenor guard some stew. This is completely wild to me because I never knew there was a specific Draenor guard literally sitting in this tree right here next to the bank. Like, what the fuck was the point of this, like, a Easter egg, I guess, in the game? Look at this shit, man. 10 points, baby. Alright, next on the agenda is the Rune Axe. No more poor man's wood cutting. We're going to upgrade to the highest, well, almost the highest degree. A very common and helpful way to get a Rune Axe early in-game as an Iron Man is to slither on over to a little fun place called the Enchanted Valley, using fairy code BKQ. When you go there and you try to cut down the trees, these nature spirits will spawn, and when I say the drop tables for these guys are like axe heaven, I mean check this shit out. Easy pickings. Man, I really should have thought ahead here. This place looks like a fucking Metallica mosh pit, man, and I don't have a lot of runes. My range level is like a completely average 3 inches. Yeah, I'm just gonna come back later. Fuck yeah, man. Alright, so probably the biggest grind of this episode, which isn't really a grind because League's XP is, broken, is 50 fire making. Y'all probably know why I want this and probably know what it's for, so I'm just gonna burn through it and no one should be asking any questions. To say that my gameplay is electric is a testament to my dedication to the entertainment business. Bro, 2 roots events in a row, we are cooking. Alright, 50 fire making in the bag, too easy. And with 50 fire making, we also need some warm clothes when running around in the desert, because that's where we're going next. Yeah, the desert. The standard beginner warm clothes for almost every soul that needs them in this game is the cosmetic Clue Hunter's outfit, which is basically buried in random spots all around Gilneor. Now, you see, these weird fucking Warlock Gate things pose a problem with that, because the gloves and the boots are over there, the cloak is all the way down there, apparently there's a helmet too that I've never gotten, and it's at the clock tower. Basically, I can get the garb and the trousers. But to protect myself from the harsh winds of the desert and the nightmares of doing Desert Treasure 2, I need 4 pieces. 1 piece is easy, the fire staff. That acts as a warm piece of clothing. It sucks and most people don't use it because you have to carry around your axe in your bags, but we do what we must do to defeat the winter. As for the last piece, if you scour the wiki, you may notice most of the options available are not really possible. I ended up looking through these and sure enough I realized what needed to be done. That's right, baby. The rainbow scarf. Which is actually sold by Diego Eldorado here. If I can take anything from Leagues, it's that Diego here actually sells something other than the Chronicle. Absolutely wild. All 4 pieces of warm clothing unlocked. Alright, moving on to some chill combat leveling while I'm trying to get a chef's hat to drop from these goblins. I don't want to get too many combat levels so it makes the agility pyramid easier. I've been having some shitty luck with this drop, so hopefully it will end soon. Well, it's 6 a.m. here in the morning, my kids' peak hours. Since there aren't that many people on, I figure it's a good chance to knock out some of the more crowded tasks like that potato tree. I can also run into the wizard's tower and kill the lesser demon at the top. I'll tell you, man, this is peak wholesome. Really one of the best parts about this game. We're literally standing in line here, making sure not to tag so we can all get our kills. This is pretty cool, to be honest. One of the few social aspects left in any game nowadays is shit like this, and I love it. 10 points, baby. Give me the fucking hat, you son of a bitch. This task says, get your revenge against a dark wizard, which is pretty appropriate right now because, you know, I fucking died to one earlier. I have some fletching materials from earlier, so I do want to do some quick mining and smithing to make some arrows. I want to try and keep my bank somewhat clean and free of random stuff, so this will get rid of the arrow shafts and feathers. Getting really close to the third relic unlock right now. Rather than slog through the chef's hat bullshit, I think I'm going to move through Vampire Slayer and Romeo and Juliet to have those crossed off the list for this episode. Dude, 20 points, man. Come on. All right, okay, I know 2 easy tasks I can knock out really fast. There it is, boys. Third relic. Unlocked. 2 options this time around. Banker's Note and Fire Sale. Both are vastly different and both have pretty useful utilities if you think about them beyond the surface level. Banker's Note gives you the option to freely note and unnote items at your own will. This may seem simple, but think about in-game, right? Being able to note and unnote supplies during in-game content, any kind of gathering or processing, boss fights, raids, this basically gives you an unlimited inventory almost. It's extremely helpful. Fire Sale is a very creative relic because it makes every item sold in shops basically free. You can also buy these items in noted or unnoted form. If you have a good knowledge of the shops in the game, this means you can utilize certain shops to get free materials to train your skills. Think unlimited runes for magic, ammo for range, gems for crafting, things like that. There's a huge list of some of these shops and the perks on the wiki page for Fire Sale if anyone's interested. For me, I see Banker's Note as a great option to pair with the Harvester relic, which obviously I did not take. I also don't see myself doing too many in-game bosses aside from the ones I can farm for clues or need to do for that. So I want to try the different option here. I feel like Fire Sale is a brand new idea in old school RuneScape and I want to see what it's like. Plus, having unlimited runes in general is a huge upside for me and I want to be able to train my skills like those as fast as possible, and having unlimited supplies for those certain skills makes this a very juicy option. So I'm going to take Fire Sale here. One of the few choices I wasn't entirely certain of when I was checking out the relic options, but I'm sticking with it and, you know, we'll just see what happens, man. Fire Sale unlocked and ready to rock, baby. And with Fire Sale unlocked, you know the first thing I'm going to do is snag a bunch of runes so I can train magic on these goblins while I get that goddamn chef's hat. I'm not stopping this time until I get it, so we'll see. I mean, I guess we'll just see how high up I get. Oh, and there it is, the chef's hat drop. Finally, I can now enter the Cook's Guild and get some good food for the next few areas I plan to slither around in. Took a little longer than I'd hoped for, but hey, dude, that's free XP at the end of the day. All right, last thing on the list here, get back and get that rune axe. With unlimited runes and a little bit of higher combat stats, I'm assuming this will be a little bit easier this time around. Dude, literally on the second kill. This is the chef's hat karma, man, coming back for me. This is one of those like ball don't lie moments. And with that, we have everything we planned for in this episode. All of the quests, items, gear I'd hope to knock out is done, and we can move on to the next area, which is Kourend. You guys thought, I know you may have thought I was going to the desert next, but I don't even have that unlocked, so I fucking got y'all. We have our warm clothes, rune axe, some good healing food, and now it's time to really start hitting these levels and get some super useful supplies for the later grinds. I'll see you guys over at the Winter Tote for the next episode.